Alright, so I'm doing a little bit of a DPS test, and this is going to be with the Gamer Axe and with the Fist of a Thousand Fury. I've got them both to unique. I've got the max enchants, which the only real enchants you need for damage are Sharpness 5 and Ambush 1. Same thing on the unique pillar, the Monkey King, and that's going to come later. And then I have... I do have a couple of Gamer Axes here. They used to be dual wield, which is why I have two, but now we have Sharpness 5, Ambush 1. Uh, Sharpness 5, Ambush 1. So it's not going to matter which one I have. I have an Obsidian over here that's at half health, and it's a Mythic level 1 Obsidian. He spawns the aberrations. He has that affix. But I just have stuff in creative in order to test. Now, as you can see, I'm not going to get crazy high DPS, but we're also going to discuss why DPS is not the most important factor in the game, because it actually isn't. It's probably maybe the second most important factor. It can give you a good guide to if you're doing things right or not, but there's going to be a point in time where you're fighting bosses and you're going to notice that maybe something that seems more effective on the target dummy isn't actually going to be as effective on bosses. And we're going to go over that too. So, without further ado, I'm going to start. I'm going to take these bunny slippers off, actually. And so that I can do normal jumps. And we're for the crits. And we're going to start with Fist of Fury. Okay, so I missed some attacks there. I think it went to like 108 or something like that. I've gotten to like 120 before, but at this point I would just switch to my staff. And as you can see, DPS actually rises, and it rises pretty well. And I can even do this, and then my DPS really starts rising. And Whirlwind Staff is amazing for this. So, but even with normal attacks, and see now it slows down a little bit, but I can get it back up. So, at least with the Monkey King staff, you can actually stay extremely consistent, and it looks like you can start slowly rising it too. So that's really good with the Monkey King staff. And with Fist of a Thousand, Fury of a Thousand Fists, you just basically have to not miss. Yeah, there. Got to 120 there. So, also, when it comes to target dummies, they reset every 5 seconds. This is why I have 2 of them, so I can immediately go to the next one instead of having to wait for the 5-second reset. So that's good. Now we can actually test Gamer Axe. By the way, the build I'm running is Way of the Shadow. I'm using the Thief Armor for damage, because you get attack speed and you get damage. And then I also sneak to be invisible. And that's why Ambush works so well, because all you have to do for that extra damage from ambush is to sneak and be invisible. Max is ambush 1. I made it that way, so you can't get any higher than ambush 1 in the game. Axe is dual wield, so this one has a sharpness 5 module and a sharpness 5 enchant as well as ambush. And you can see the sharpness module right there is at 100%. So let's go. So, I mean, it has pretty good DPS. It's kind of similar to the Monkey Staff, but the Monkey Staff kind of has a better burst with that Whirlwind. But the thing is that you're not really going to start out as high. And attack speed is kind of important for DPS as we get later on to these bosses. So, and I'm going to kind of sort of show you why. I'm going to do the boss in creative, but I'm going to mention some things about the Obsidian boss and the Nether Gauntlet boss specifically that is going to mean that these weapons, these artifact weapons, actually come out on top. So, without further ado, let's just use the Gamer Axe. So, as you can see, we're kind of chopping down at it, but it's not going crazy fast. And the combination of the Fist and the Monkey King staff is actually going to be better, at least for this build. You know, I'm not really measuring all builds here. There are burst builds that kind of hold their merit, and you can kind of do sort of combination stuff, but... And then we bring in the staff, and we actually really start getting the DPS in, especially if we do the Whirlwind. And I would say that that one was definitely faster. A lot faster. So, and that's Mythic level 1 Obsidian. And even if you can somehow get higher DPS with the Gamer Axe, the thing about Obsidian is that it eventually goes into an invincible mode, right? So you're kind of limited on Obsidian with how fast you can mine the pillars, because it spawns these pillars that have runes, and it's going to spawn all around it. And it'll probably start with like 4 or 5 runes that you have to mine. But Obsidian has a crazy healing factor at really high level mythics. So you really have to, you know, you're really going to want to be attacking kind of fast to get those ticks down so you can out damage those ticks that it heals. And you're going to want to do that to get to the next diamond on its health bar that it had. And and the reason that you're going to want to do that is because it will not heal past the diamond. And so that's why weapons like these will definitely be better, and weapons that can actually kind of deal damage faster than it can do its little tick regeneration health thing. That's why these weapons are kind of better on Obsidian. And then the reason why something like Fist of Fury and Monkey King will be really good on Nether Gauntlet is that right now, Monkey King counts as an axe, so you can see that you can get +3 reach on it. So when it comes, it does this slam attack where it'll come down with its fist, and it'll make an explosion on the ground, and you can just claim the chunk like I have here to actually have it not explode the terrain. But the important thing is that it comes down, and you can do this to wail on it, and then it flies back up, and you'll actually be able to hit it a little bit with the Monkey King staff. And then while this is on cooldown, it can come down again, and you can just use the Monkey King staff, use Whirlwind. You could also use Whirlwind to get out of the way, because you can run very fast with Whirlwind when you're not sneaking. And right now, you can actually... I don't think I have any Icarus Wings right now, but on this test world, but you can actually use Whirlwind to propel yourself in flight to actually get out of the way. So, and it just really helps with dodging. There's also this ability, which you actually flip up in the air. You won't be able to see yourself, but you can see a shadow. When you're doing this, you're actually invincible and you cannot be targeted. And then you can land back down and do something like Whirlwind, or do something like Rending Winds, which is another cool ability. So yeah, I personally think when it comes down to like super end game builds that have not only have synergy but have all these abilities that are just kind of working off of each other, those end up usually being the best thing, and that's why the artifact weapons tend to be the best when it comes to builds. So that's about it.